These days, Samsung, kinda like Xiaomi, loves to flood the market with their products. Galaxy S line alone was striking last year with 4 models, and it seems that 3 new smartphones are only warming up for 2020. The Galaxy A family, of course, has also got a huge number of products and is already rocking in stores. Today we talk about new A51. What do we feel about this beast? Time for you to find out. Welcome to TechFellas, my name is Bogdan, and let's take into it. What tells us the outlook? Galaxy A51 is not ugly at all. The only thing I have bad vibes in regards to is the material of the back and frame. Breaking news: according to laboratory tests and research, some humans are often allergic or have a drumming belly when touching plastic in smartphones. Therefore, be sure to consult a doctor before buying A51. That was a quick reference to the fact that plastic phones are not prestigious. Well, to be frank, the body is completely made of plastic, apart from a camera set cover and the whole front panel. Worth to admit, it is glossy, and at first I completely mistook it for a glass. Despite hard feelings about the mentioned material, Samsung nevertheless became really sweaty by making it look nice. At certain angles on the back of the smartphone you can see either pleasing rainbow overflows or colorful lines, and even a bunch of geometric pornography. All I can say, this picture is kinda honey for my soul. The front of this guy is extremely simple. There is a tempered glass with magnificent telephobic coating, a bit noticeable frame, and suddenly a screen with hole-punch front camera. In total, it seems that there is nothing fantastic in phone's appearance, but it is still a pleasure for an eye, in Samsung style and therefore highly recognizable. As a bonus, we've got the coolest cheerful color, as well as a multi-eyed camera in style of top S models. If you wonder, I'm not a big fan of such camera shapes, but I'm sure that people will hunt this phone just for this little fantasy island. After all, it looks kinda like in flagship series and at the same time reminds about Google Pixels or even iPhones. I have no questions to the build quality, nothing falls off and doesn't dangle both inside and outside. It feels like a one piece and set to the highest level. A bit more about the body. The card drawer here is as perfect as it should be, with 3 sections to cover your cell communication and storage needs. Next, a fingerprint reader as well as face recognition works stable and pretty fast in here, considering that device is not from a flagship category. For me, it all is a good news. Moving on to the screen, it is 6.5 inches AMOLED with 2400 by 1080 resolution. No complaints about clarity on the screen. We didn't spot any red dots that could possibly disturb your eyes. In total, it's pleasant to look at it as well as to swipe through the sensor grid. The viewing angles are more than adequate. The brightness range is both nice for its maximum and minimum peaks, ending up about the screen with the beloved showdown of always on display. Listen now what we've heard through headphones. It was the sound of any other smartphone on Android, or very close to that. Doesn't really matter, it's neither good nor bad. For something deserving audiophiles' ears, at least a dedicated audio chip is needed here. That's all, folks. We have built-in equalizer here, and maximum volume is not bad at all. Also, the sound from speakers seems to be not bad too, except for one thing: the speaker is lonely. The speaker wants a stereo pair with the front-facing one, but the market life is cruel. At least it sings clear and relatively loud. It's time for some camera tests. Why not to show our faces first? The selfie camera photos I could rate as 3.5 out of 5, which means it's surely okay, but we've seen even better quality in other devices of the same cost. Now welcome to the front-facing camera video test. As you see, the total picture is awesomely detailed, the stabilization is lacking and would be a nice thing for swaggering. At least true 4K resolution doesn't let us down. The main camera in good light condition takes quite adequate pics in all respects. When it comes to shooting in low lighting, the overall quality drops rapidly. Photos can be made via a wide angle and an ultra-wide angled modules. Taking portraits is also a pleasure here. The outcoming results please nicely. There is even a separate mode for night shooting, but in our opinion it doesn't do much regarding the picture quality. Main cam's maximum video resolution is 4K. I would really like to call it welcoming for an eye, and in some manner this is the way it looks like.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the
But when it comes to stabilization, it becomes clear that it's simply not here. There's a button for enabling it, but when you tap on it, the camera immediately switches to 1080p mode. As a result, all the beauty and attractiveness of the picture wipes away. At least I admit that stabilization becomes a showstopper in such clips. It's hardware time. Samsung used their own chipset Exynos 9611, graphics Mali G72 MP3, and in our case 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. How does all that behave in daily life? It's simply great and doesn't lag at all. With more intensive tasks like games, the phone is more predictable and not the way you wish it to be. For example, in World Tanks Blitz, that we actually play a lot, FPS number with maximum graphics settings reaches 55 only in the first 2-3 battles. The further we play, the worse it becomes. When action doesn't leave the screen for a long time in game 5th or 6th, FPS can drop below 30. In the end, if you want to play on Galaxy A51 without brain damage, the recommended graphics is medium. These were the thoughts of 3 healthy and tired men. What benchmark tests think about the smartphone's performance? You can look up the screen right now. And to close the hardware topic, there is one important phrase that everyone is waiting for me to say. NFC is included here. What's left to talk about is a battery. In numbers, it is 4000 mAh. It's not bad by itself, but already not even close to gorgeous, thanks to Xiaomi of course. The phone lives from this supply for about a day or a day and a half. Again, this number is quite average on the market. Summarizing the stuff, I honestly think that Samsung brought what they initially wanted to create. Pretty neat middle-class smartphone. It's left without stereo speakers, powerful hardware and some divine liquid protection, however, still manages to satisfy the user on daily term. Has NFC, bolt card drawer, headphone jack and modern in-screen fingerprint reader. Frankly, AMOLED screen is worth it too, but A51 is not crushing the market, so I cannot recommend it to everyone and everywhere, especially for you, demanding fella. But if you just want an expensive Samsung phone with modern look, I will leave a link to internet store for buying this guy in the description box below. And if you like this video, then why not to support our channel by subscribing to it, hitting the like button, ringing the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. My thanks for watching and cheers!